is usually live 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. 5 or 7 days out the week. What's up? There he goes.
And he will talk to you guys on more about, you know, and stuff like that. And then you can tell y'all how to tie it up with the treasury. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's later on down the line. We're trying to get this into each and every last one of you. You got ammunition. You just need to know how to use it and when to use it. Because it's popping off already. Like Aisha brought to my attention, did y'all know the stock market crashed, the dollar crashed already?
Yeah, I don't think most people know that. Turkey joined the BRICS last week. Okay, follow finish, y'all. Turkey joined the BRICS last week. Turkey has a higher elite medical system than us, even though we don't think that. So once a country that has a better medical system than us left and went to the BRICS, that's it. Our dollar's out of there. It's out of there.
So what that means to y'all, if we don't have money, if we don't have gold or silver that we can trade in the private, because they took that right away. They took that and say, hey, we're going to go and give them a piece of paper, I owe you, right? And then with that, we'll just extend some credit to them. But hey, before they can even get the extension of credit, they got to go have a good credit score. All this is war against the people. Before they even issued Social Security numbers, people was doing just fine without them. Just fine without them. And then when you look at the back of it, it ain't even yours. Now, how many times have you been duped? But they're making you responsible for a supposedly debt that is already dischargeable because of the bankruptcy law we're under. They send you those securities every single month in the mail, call a statement. And I will pull up again what is considered as lawful funds. They don't use the word money. They said lawful funds. Well, let's go look up what lawful funds are. Y'all gotta clearly eat this, sleep this, and have this embedded in you so you will not get duped anymore, because you're gonna ask more questions, which you should, than not. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna move on and say, who may actions be taken against? Now, who you can take actions against? A, actions may be brought against persons. Ain't that's what they trying to infiltrate? They trying to infiltrate you by saying now our business is considered as what? A person. Right? Which means any individual, partnership, corporation, association, or private organization, including a non-profit organization. That's all of them. The credit cards, the mortgage, the vehicles. Y'all get where I'm going with that? There's no restrictions on that. Now, Aisha, let me ask you, do you have that video available about breaking down the False Claims Act? Because after I read this, then we can go through that video. And then from there, I can walk y'all through another level for its accusive number and things of that nature. Read the prospectus. Read their agents agreement. Read their 10K. These are all constructed trust documents, which is deposited to the public with the Security Exchange Commission. Did you know you can find your accusive number on the Security Exchange Commission? They have a website for that. But we're going to move on about this PFCRA, which is civil remedies for false claims, right? Because they did send it to you in the mail. They're going to threaten you, harass you, and say we're going to sue you and all this other stuff. They're calling on the phone, being deceptive. A lot of y'all around here sweating bullets because lack of knowledge. Knowledge is the thing that destroys a person, because now you can't eat, you can't sleep. You worried, you because information been concealed from you. The truth has not been told to you, and it's hard to find an outreach or an outlet, somebody you can actually talk to. Well, this is what we're here for, so you can have clarity. So even if you can't spot the fraud in these deceptive, supposedly agreements, because I'm going to stick to calling them agreements and not contracts, because they're a fraction of a trust fund account they set up with you, using you as a transmitting utility to go into your Social Security trust fund account, or into your driver's license trust fund account, or into your ID or a birth certificate, which is your receipt. What David calls it is your warehouse receipt. Why? Because there's no lawful money. They are creating it. You just now understanding or overstanding how now to make a claim on it. Where there's a lien, there always have to be a claim. Rights that's not expressed, or rights not at all. Express your right. Hey, I got right to my property. What's going on? What are you doing? You can't steal from me. Give it right back. Like Aisha say, you ain't finna take nothing from me. You got me so confused with the next one. And together we can be stronger, and divided we are weak. And this is how they chop us down. When we stay on top of them and know how they are committing and commencing the fraud, how they're changing and switching lanes, and you're going into that rabbit hole, you're finding out more and more constructively how they are building the fraud, namely with the electronic signature system. Why? Because, baby, they finna go, what? They finna go make copies upon copies digitally, and they doing it in other jurisdictions and infringing on the jurisdiction that you're in, and it's hard to get their ass over here.
Yeah, I want to tell y'all everything. What she's saying is so true, how they just they're beating us up spiritually. You're not able to find, so the, what do you call it? The minimum wage has been minimum wage since I was a kid. Like, I started working off of minimum wage at the age of 11. I'm 47 years old. It's
and
still
the economy has so much inflation. How, Sway, can you work on that?
How? Think about that. I want y'all to think about this. I started working, it's called Houston Workforce something. At 11 years old, it's a program. All I did was went to school. They paid me to go to school.
I did too.
You got so much in common, girl.
It's the Workforce Commission.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? They paid us to go to school. That was $7.50. I was 11 years old. Yeah. Booktopia. That's the point. They want us all out here working 40, 60, 80 hours a week. In 1 week. Therefore, you can't.
Guess what that does to your family? Guess what they do to your knowledge? Guess what they do? It's called shackles and oppression. The only way you're going to free yourself is through knowledge. When you get knowledge, knowledge is wealth. Wealth, and that's power, right? You always have the power. They're just oppressing you through not giving you information by concealing it, not giving you disclosures. If a thief is going to pick your pocket, your back pocket, you think he's going to say, hey, here your wallet back? No.
And this is what we're trying to get y'all to understand. It's okay that some are not getting it. We understand why, but you have to figure out a way to join with communities that's willing to give this information to encourage you to pick this up, because that is the purpose. They want you working 60, 80 hours so you can't do this. So we're thinking, if we teach you all how to do a false claim petition, either way it goes, when they pick it up, that's a minimum of 13% of the claim, up to 30% of the claim. I think it's 30% on the program she's showing for sure, because they're not, the government's not actively working. Your
actual damages, you're going to get 3 times the amount. So let's say your actual damages was $35,000. You're going to get 3 times the amount of that, and they're going to impose a sanction on them for each violation between $11,000 and $22,000. That's what it all boils down to. They're going to get money back from the state.
So either way it go, y'all, you getting your money.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's make time to understand this claim.
It's time to clock in on this, guys. You know why? Because if you can help yourself and your family, everybody can get a cut. Everybody can get a cut, and then and as God brings us together, we can say, hey, since y'all don't have enough people over there working, we have our own group or reach out service to people, and we know we can work for the state and get some type of funds for the state because we're working for the public, the minorities and things of that nature, because there's only a fraction of you guys that know about this, and once you become the majority, then they will start employing more people to look at these cases and these claims instead of being a year behind, 2 years behind, and just brushing them off, knowing there is a solidified claim in front of them. But to make them listen, if we bring them 4, 5, 6 of the same bad actor, such as like Aisha claim, right? Dealing with Stanley Militant. We get enough people, that's Sherman Act right there. Hey, you need to take a look at this.
And so I have found the Sherman Act evidentiary facts.
6 years. I'm sorry, go ahead. Once you know about it, once you come into the knowledge of it, then it's 6 years.
Yeah, based upon the data discovery, y'all. So it's based upon the data discovery of your facts. So if you just now found out this year and the incident happened 20 years ago on your mortgage, it's based upon the discovery of facts. And I want to get y'all to understand that because the defendant's attorney in my case tried to make it seem like her dumb self gonna say that factual allegations. I put the facts. She's saying, okay, I provided facts.
I'm sorry. I had to get that out.
Her rebuttal to my claim was the factual allegations are time barred. How could something be a fact and alleged at the same time? So you got to understand when they're telling on themselves and run with that truth. But I'm saying that to say this. Anything with fraud is based upon discovery date. It's not based upon the date that
it was right and correct, because remember, they already canceled, they already breached and defaulted at the time of signing in order for them to sell it.
And if you call them, like I try to do it first, I have hundreds of recorders. I try to work with these people. You'll hear them trying to play with my head. That's how you're going to hear. And I'm just like, that don't make sense. They didn't understand I used to be an underwriter. I started from the bottom of a mortgage company and made it all the way to be an underwriter. So I understood everything that they were saying to me. They thought they were just talking to somebody that didn't have no knowledge of the industry. But when they told me something, it didn't make me leave them alone. Whereas when they tell someone that don't have inside knowledge of the industry, you'll go away. Like they said to me, oh, we are licensed to do title work in Texas. We have a title company there. Well, the title company in Texas is a different EIN number than the title company in which you...
Facts. And even if the services say, hey, that I am like BMW. BMW say, hey, BMW Financial Services is me. BMW Bank of North America is me. No, you not. You ain't your twin. Y'all gonna be y'all individuals with the individual EIN number.
Now, what they are, with a situation like hers, like I did, get the CEO. And now you all the same damn people. And when the CEO is all the owners of this companies that all three of these companies commit fraud, that's Sherman Act. Because the CEO used different entities to defeat the competitors and keep the pricing amongst himself.
Correct. That would be Sherman, because you are beating out other competitors to compete for your business for products and services.
And that's why when we get into the False Claims Act, the Department of Justice is suing these companies or that individual owner for hundreds of millions of thousands of dollars. You understand? So that's what we're trying to get you guys to be in the arena of making 13 to 30% of 100 million. And we can do this as a group. I don't care if all of us get 20,000. We come together state to state and start asking people, hey, did you work with this company? Okay, we found out that company is the same as this company. That company is the same as this company. And this is what they've done at the recorder's office in your state. This is what they've done at the recorder's office in my state. This is what they've done at the Department of Motor Vehicles in your state. This is what they've done at the Department of Motor Vehicles in my state.
So that means that's the norm. You ain't in it by yourself.
You're not. This is all of us. And we got to stop acting like we over here suffering along, your mortgage behind yourself, your car up for repo by yourself, your lights off by yourself, your water off by. It's not what's going on. We're all suffering. So it's time that we understand to make all of these people that are just a handful of people. A handful of people are making all of us suffer. So let's get together and start putting these claims in that worth hundreds of millions that we all get 13 to 30% off of. And let's sit at home and raise and educate our families to take care of our loved ones.
But not only that, those who get a step up, and I'm going to be the first one to step up. You know, I get my settlement. I'm a set up where we can all try to eat where there's some type of payment for your research work. Because if we start investing in ourselves, this is how we build wealth amongst each other. Start our own trusts, start our own LLCs, put them up under a holding. Now we can grow and share funds with each other.
I mean, truth be told, man, I know a way to start right now. Right now. Remember I was telling you about? They have to be able. So we'll talk about offline, but I know a way to start right in 21 days. I just want you all to be prepared to stand on your own feet and not expect us to hold your hand. We're going to provide the platform, the information, the mentorship, the encouragement, but we need different perspectives as well because this is not just happening in Texas. We're in Texas.
Correct.
Yeah, we want people to work in the back. The back is the strength. So anybody that's willing, DM us, give us time to get back.
Thank you so much, Keith. Hey, my buddy. Yeah, we gotta look. We gotta plug into each other. We gotta plug into each other. And of course, I haven't been saying Mad or Aisha a lot because we're in here. You feel what I'm saying? We're in here slap boxing. We're in these courts. We're in these streets. We working. We putting on several hats. We become an investigator 1 minute, then we switch that hat, and then we become a paralegal, then we switch hats, then we drafting, then we switch hats, then we filing, then we reading, then we go. It's like, man, it's so much knowledge, and you're gonna have to pull from so many elements, but it's there, right? The power is there. You just putting it in yourself. So you filling yourself up with knowledge, and with that knowledge is going to come direction. And we're just here to help you get off your knees and start walking and running. No more crawling, no more begging. Because guess what? They're going to still kick you while you're down. If they're doing this like they're doing now, what makes it going to be any different if you on your knees begging? Because now they're going to make your children beg, your grandkids beg, to the point where the invisible chains, they there. Yeah. But you can free yourself from that now before they put other chains on you and force you to start having a stamp somewhere on your body. This belongs to the Most High. Okay? He put you in a position to where you are already ordered and ordained to do something. We got to move in unity. We got to move as one. A house divided cannot stand.
And just think about it. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to divide us. Even with the political, right now, all this politics stuff, hey, I understand we supposed to be into our American nation, but you got to wake up and realize that your nation been hijacked. This ain't the America you was in when you were 6 years old. This is not that. We have been hijacked, y'all. So stop letting them blow your brains out.
We were hijacked when they declared bankruptcy. We ain't got
they're
no
playing
money.
in your head with these politics, y'all. And right now, as they're playing in your head with the politics, the American dollar has collapsed and y'all don't even know it. Turkey has went over to BRICS.
Well, honestly, they never had power of attorney, to be honest with you, because when they breach and default on that retail agreement between you and them at the table, there is no power of attorney. I actually seen where DMV requires them to have a power of attorney with DMV name on it. Same may apply when you're doing your mortgage or your deed, the things of that nature. They'll hide it conspicuously, hide it under magic and say, you give us power of attorney. But when you really read that agreement, there is no power of attorney, especially when you gave up your rights and debentures, period, to another.
What we probably should do first is all of us need to learn how to create the revocation of signature and revocation of power of attorney and file it.
Right, correct. Record it.
Record it. Once you record it, you can use this platform as a public notification platform. You can use Facebook. You just need a post.
Public announcement.
That's what I do. Make it a public announcement. The person that you're trying to notify is on the app or on Facebook. Tag their ass in and tell them they deserve.
Exactly.
Because they're trying to figure out a way to oppress us financially, and then they like, oh, well, they're not going to be able to pay to serve me $60 or $160, $70, $200 way in another state. They need to pay their light bill. But we're going to figure out a way to serve your ass.
And that's why we say we're going to come together as a team and have some type of organization to where we can try to get some of those fees waived or get y'all relieved. But that's in the long haul, because we just not coming out with these ideas and stuff like that, because you guys, I'm honestly, I do not trust no attorney with a bar card. I know you're not going to be honest with me. I know that for a fact I'm the one who's been affected with firsthand knowledge. Right? So God is putting us through this to learn how to draft. Trust me, drafting is not easy. Okay, you got all this craziness, your life is going, and then you have to sit down and draft something according to the local rules and rules of civil procedures, and then you got to implement them the right way, which USC codes to use, because the other ones is all of it is for them, period. But when it comes to putting somebody away, that will be under Title 18. You don't have the power, but you can express it, So this is what we're trying to get y'all to enter and understand, that we are in it. So we have no choice. We were just thrust in there like, hold on, wait, I wasn't even ready for it. I wasn't ready. But guess what? God knew you was ready. He said, now it's the time. Now it's the time. And you're going to do a crash course on learning this to the point where we about to start paralegal courses.
Yeah, we about to go. I still tell Mad to this day, I don't want to do this.
Yes,
but I still be crying. She say, stop crying. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm serious. It's hard. It's not easy because you just got to throw yourself in there. But we are mommies and daddies and brothers and sisters, and we got to protect our loved ones. So we don't have a choice no more. We got to figure this out.
Because remember, when you sit at the table and they use you as a transmitting utility to transfer the power of wealth from you to them, they use what? Your signature. Now they commoditize, man. They made so much off of that signature. So they always told you, you were the gold. You were the money. That's why they took away the gold and silver, because you already the gold and silver. You the golden ticket. Because without you, it would be no them doing what the hell they doing. What's the number one thing they submit to you? Anybody in the chat, what's the number one thing they always say you defaulted, and what do they see? I'll wait. We want to see how many of y'all can actually answer that question. What do they send to you? What is the number one thing they send to you? And if they send it to you by mail, that's fraud. But what is the number one thing they send to you? They say, hey, you defaulted on your promise. There you go, Keith. They want to slang it in your face, not the bill. The bill is already paid at the table with your signature. Ain't such thing as no bill. It's on the discharge.
Okay, so based on what Matt just said, who defaulted first then? Let's see if y'all get it. Based upon, if y'all were listening to what she just said, who was the first one to default then? And tell me why there was a default. Who was the first person to default?
Exactly. They did.
How did they default? tell us how they defaulted.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a real good question because I did run through it. How did they default?
Okay, they didn't disclose. All right, Chris. What they didn't disclose, that's good. They didn't disclose what? Now, full disclosure, right, but what that's still up. Okay, now that's something we can terms. Default earnings balance owe an amount. That's true, because how could you owe something if it was paid at the table? We're the lender, okay? They sure want y'all getting it.
They defaulted when they assigned or transferred their obligation to another. That's called break in chain and title. That's a default and that's a breach.
All of these, but they're right as well. All of these are defaults. They just have to understand how
it happened, right?
Right. So what you got to do is get a FOIA request from the agency, the governmental agency that is. If it's a car, it's going to be Department of Motor Vehicle, and then you want to also say Treasury, Department of Motor Vehicle and Treasury. If it's a house, it's HUD and Treasury. If it's a credit card, it's going to be the FTC and Treasury. You're doing 4 years. Every time you do a 4 year, you're telling the agency to also give me the information that you have in regards with the United States Treasury dealing with this account.
Absolutely, because guess what? A lot of y'all say, I asked them to send me information and they don't, but guess what? OCCC and the DMV kicked that door in and when it got mine. How about that?
And it's really knowing how to articulate it. Some stuff that we're saying that we learned on the platform is not going to get them to move. But once you learn how to articulate the crime and what has happened to you, you will be able to get them to move. And I assure you, every time I call the police, I have gotten me a police report just as I said.
Baby, when I seen that lease, oh, honey, who did a lease? 911. Somebody over there that did some fuckery.
Right.
That's why they come. No more use, no electronic signature. We need ink and paper. We need ink and pen, and we need fresh signatures. Congratulations, you shot yourself in the foot with that one. Then they paid a little low fine, but bring that ass here.
But I'm going to stop interrupting. We got into that. Let her finish up the PFC, y'all.
Okay, so it says, what is the knowledge required? Does it have to be actual knowledge? That's the question. It says, no. It can be actual knowledge, deliberate ignorance. Affirmative hides from the truth. Okay, that means concealment. Or reckless disregard, gross negligence, or does not care what the truth is. Aren't they ignoring you? Aren't they ignoring your keep up with your process until you file your court claim, your tort claim, and things of this nature, because you're going to have to be able to articulate what you're saying. Now, that goes back to find your court case that's similar to yours. Mimic that. Parrot that. Then chunk you a little bit more violations in there. Y'all get what we're telling you. It says, what is the process for PFCRA actions? PFCRA cases have 6 discrete procedural steps. So we're going to go over the steps. The investigating officials investigate all allegations of PFCRA liability and submit a report of the investigation on any potential PFCRA matter to a review official. Now,
okay, ma'am, interrupt you. I'm sorry. Y'all, she said they investigated any. Say it again for me, man.
Any. I'm like David on y'all with that. He say, read it carefully. The reviewing officials assess the evidence and plausibility of this PFCRA. So I'm going to go back to number 1. It says the investigating official investigate allegations of PFCRA. It is, it's like instead of putting somebody away, they just gonna impose the remedy. You get paid, they get paid. They're gonna go back to the drawing board. In other words, that's why they ain't going through the DOJ. They're going to the DOI. Right? That's all of that. This just the truth of the matter. And you got the burden of proof. The burden of proof is gonna come from what they see, because they're about as stupid. They're about stupid. Am I right? They about stupid. They so used to doing the crime, they're gonna send you the crime.
Yeah, they're gonna say I did. I mean, they sent it to me. I called, and this is what Matt always say: their staff is their liability. So when I got the proof that my house was paid for 5 days after I closed, or around about 5 days around me closing, I have a receipt that the original pretender lender got the value of the promissory note. Guess who gave it to me? Their company.
Exactly. And a check that they knew who they weren't supposed to give.
That they weren't supposed to give me. They gave me the $4,600 check, and they didn't tell FHA HUD about it. Oh, we're just not going to put this on the closing disclosures because we know that we have committed fraud.
That's a third-degree felony. So they made her a part of the fraud team and didn't tell her. They concealed it.
Yeah, made me a criminal.
Without you knowing.
Without me knowing. They gave me $4,600 after I signed the last document. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to give me some new linens, some towels. I'm going to put some money in savings. Oh, Lord, look at this. But they made me a straight-up criminal when man said, you can't get money back after you bought your house. I'm like,
say, what? Where? We found the document. There you go, right there.
She's talking about Form H. And I go pull the form up on the computer and see it, and then go look at my closing files and see that it's in my closing file. But the clincher here's the clincher. I signed it. I signed the form. And cashed the check. I had signed the form and cashed the check. And then when I called HUD trying to tell on them, the lady said, well, did you cash the check?
Right.
I said, yes, ma'am. And that's when life changed. That's when I started telling on everybody. If I'm going to jail, I'm trying to take this house, everybody going with me. Yeah.
Taking you with me, Grandma.
You too, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So let me let Matt. We just want y'all to understand. Would you say they're investigating. The reason probably they say they're investigating any and all. When you do this, you're saying, oh, well, they didn't help me. Once you do the research and you're able to articulate that this falls underneath this program, they're going to investigate, y'all. That's what we're trying to get you some relief, money, some help. So I'm going to let her finish. This is so much that we think about as she reads, but I'm going to let her finish reading because we need to be into these programs.
Now, once it says the official investigate allegations of the PFCRA liabilities, remember, this is a claim. It's an O&B claim. It's an insurance claims, guys. So basically, they're going to be paying you money from your own Social Trust. But hey, that's okay as long as you get out of my way and give me my money today so I can rebuild my life and get your ass up off my credit. Motherfucker. And it says, on any potential PFCRA matter to a reviewing official, right? So that's kind of like a prosecutor. That's a board. That's saying, well, hey, we can pursue this. And, trust me, if it's something in it for them, they're going to calculate their check first. And then they're going to go on in there. They're going to try to find many violations so they can add up for themselves. And then, hey, once they don't really like going to court, but once they get in court, some other people going to be looking at their ass, IRS, all that. Because these are chattel papers. That's a bank. A court is a bank. The post office is a bank. Everything is a bank around you, guys. What is a bank? It's where they do services, trading, and things of that nature. What you think they do once you file your documents and you need a copy? You gonna pay for it after you already paid for it, for the paper and the ink and filing it all in, and then you need to review it and pull it and send it. Them a notice just had a stamp on it. They time stamp and stuff like that. They're gonna charge you 10 cents, $1 a page. The nerve, you hear me? The reviewing officials assess the evidence and plausibility of the PFCRA cases If the case is viable, the reviewing official may forward the matter to the DOJ for authorization to proceed with the PFCRA. So basically, it's saying the Department of Justice, we're going to submit it to them and say, hey, you got first deal. What you want to do? Do you want to make this a criminal matter, or do you want to keep it as a PFCRA, which is a Civil Remedy Act, right? Now, it says if the DOJ authorized the filing of a PFCRA, that's in case if they want to bite, they got first bite at the apple. If they say, no, you got it, then the DOJ will authorize the filing of the PFCRA case. The DOJ sends an authorization memorandum to the reviewing officials saying, hey, go ahead, pursue with that PFCRA so that an administrative judge can be appointed and we can go ahead and file this insurance claim. Especially if this is a big old company and they know it's just a person and it's not a named entity, then you can't put a brick wall in jail. You can't put a brick building in jail. It is a dead entity. So it's that person on paper. It's just an entity. And they know this.
I also want to tell y'all in the comments, Matt, there's a lot of people I know you're seeing. They're saying that they want to start helping build teams. So I want to let y'all know as soon as she goes through this and we kind of wrap it up, we're going to do a panel and start organizing based upon states and things of that nature. Okay, so y'all just be patient with us because we're going to start organizing today.
Number 4, upon receiving the authorization memorandum that will come from the DOJ, going down to the Attorney General, because that's the one who's going to prosecute it, but it's going to be done through the DOI. That DOI basically is filing a claim on your behalf. That's still an insurance claim. Upon receiving the authorization memorandum, the reviewing officials prepares the PFCRA claim and litigates the matter before a presiding officer. Now, that goes when I file my claim under this that is already in court. Why you think the judge say all claims against BMW? Not just one of you. All of you is going to stay. I asked for $5 million. Y'all got me so messed up. Number 5, a defendant may appeal adverse findings to the head of the agency and ultimately to the U.S. District Court. Now, you see how they're going to set you up? It's going to the court because this is a claim. Claims is just an insurance claim. They're OMB. That's an insurance claim. Remember, courts don't take cash, checks, credits. They only take chattel paper. These are negotiable instruments because they're going to get paid off of your Social Security Trust Fund account. That's why, and they're filing a claim against that. Because how else were you able to look at them and they looking at you? They had used one transmitting utility, that number. If you disassociate that, put a claim on that number, disassociate yourself by getting yourself up out of there and putting whatever you got to a trust and get gone, getting that far away from you, these are your options, right? Because they're trying to oppress you with that number. But when we find out, hey, you committed theft, fraud, forgery, mail fraud, wire fraud, hey, you got me so messed up. I'm finna let these entities know. I'm finna put the Social Security Board on knowledge, the IRS on knowledge. Hey, I need a new social until we can clear up this one right here. Until then, I'm giving it back to you. You go after all them claims right there too. That's how you and watch they step in on your behalf as well. Because it ain't yours. They are impeding on a government document, a government bond. So we're trying to get you to clean out the clouds that's in your head so you can get rid of that question mark. Because our road is going to lead you where to a claim. Where there's a lien, there's a claim. As soon as they lien you, you're going to have to file you a claim, baby. Unless some people want to stay in the matrix and be cool with it, then that's on you. But this is some people are in it for the fight and some people are not. Some people got thick skin and let the water roll off their back like a duck, and some is just too afraid to make movements because well, I got little kids, I got this. Guess what? Either way, you gonna get the business. Either way, you gonna get the business. You gonna lay down or get down. You ain't got no other options. She done already told you, we already been. If y'all hear when they say, open your ears up, they sold America's documents and information from the White House. Biden's about to get impeached about doing the same thing. Who heard about him having information in his Corvette in his garage? Ain't that treason? And if y'all ain't waking up to what's going on to you now, by the time you get the smelling salt and wake up the nightmare and welcome into the new matrix, it just may be too late. We're trying to get y'all to wake up and say, hey, the only way we're going to overcome this is utilize the things that we have, and most importantly is coming together. Because 3 heads is better than 2. 2 heads is better than 1. Now imagine we got a team and we can all bounce information off each other, feed each other knowledge. That makes an entire strong house. This is why they want to keep us divided. Number 6, PFCRA provides for the enforcement of judgments through a separate suit filed by a United States attorney in the U.S. District Court. That would be what I just said, your district attorney. They're going to pick it up. If the DOJ say, hey, it's enough for us to, we got a few names here, but hey, the money right, we're going to go run them pockets. We ain't going to do no lock up. We just want them to pay some penalties and some fees so this person go on about their business and hey, watch, rinse, and repeat. That's all it is. The statutes also provides for the collection of judgments with an S by administrative offsets. Those means those are defaults. That's what an offset is. It's a default. And they automatically defaulted at the table. What we just said. You just got to properly articulate yourself. Like we say, go pull those perspectives, start digging. It's just like when you're in church and somebody chewing gum, the old lady chewing the gum, she got tons of stuff in her purse. Probably candy been in there for months. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to have to get in there and dig and find it. It's there. It's always been there. It's been concealed. That's why she say now start asking for you requests. Start screaming claims all around you, right? Because these are model contracts. These here agreements that you have, they are bonds. And they have to securitize those bonds by putting the insurance on them. So what are they doing? 9 times out of 10, 10 out of 10, insurance fraud. At 120 days, when they said, oh, it wasn't paid, what you think they're going to file? Anybody, put it in the chat. After 120 days, what are they going to file? If they say, they failed on their promise to pay, put it in the chat.
What they going to file, y'all? Yep. What else? And what happens to them if they don't get the money back? What else they going to file, though? Think about what she's asking. This is for all supposed to be creditors. Okay. So if
some of y'all missing it. Come on now.
Let's just say that if they say we breached the contract and we signed a contract with them, we breached it. What are they saying we did? We harmed them, right? Correct. They're saying we harmed them.
Or injured them. What you file on the injury? Or harm?
They're saying that we did something against them. They're saying they've been harmed. They're saying, ouch.
I've been harmed financially.
They're saying, ouch, a claim. Okay, stick with that. They're saying, ouch, a claim. Okay, what else is a claim called? What else is a claim called? I want y'all to understand that. What else is a claim called? Insurance debts, right? That guy. They're going to file insurance.
Yes.
The credit card company is going to file on their insurance.
At 120 days.
It don't even matter the time. The homeowner too, the credit card company, the home company, everybody that they say they're supposed to be your creditor is going to file an insurance.
And that's why they securitized it.
They're not doing it for the product that they sold to us. They're doing it for the securitization and the checks they're getting from their security company.
Correct.
That's what we got to understand. Everybody's out here like, they're taking our stuff. They don't care about that. They're keeping the product so they continue the fraud.
Right.
They keep the product so they can. Mad to tell you that they gave her 3-4 cars and made it seem like she ran off with them and she owes them $9,000 times 2. She gonna log in to this false account that's under her social and she activate the car and see where the car is located.
Turn the car on, y'all.
Yes,
I turned the GPS on.
The car located at their lot. But they don't follow and started crying and said that she hurt them and they got the car. She's not the only one.
But guess what, guys? It's not my car. They just used me as a transmitting utility to get the securities in the and put it in that batch and sold it. So what I did, y'all, I think deep. I be like, let me put on Petty Betty hat. Petty Betty said, since OCC had to go in and find that other contract because they wasn't getting up off of it. They was like, hey, we ain't got it. We can't find it. That was their parent company. Sign it. We can't find it. We ain't got it. Oh, it's all in right there. Okay. So let me go holler at OCCC. But they hurried up and brought it back to them. OCC put a bond on it. Put their bond on at the bottom of it and sent it over to me. I said, the regular So what I did, I took that VIN number, went into the portal that they give us. They always give us an online account, right? So they gave me an online account, and I went into my garage, and I put in that VIN number to that car. That was the little i3, that little electric car, y'all. It's so cute. But it ain't mine. But they made it mine, and they profit off of it. But that's a long story, y'all. So anyway, what I did since it was all electric, I went in and said, well, let me upload, put this information from this VIN. And then it asked me before I could break into it, it said I would need the date of sale. So I went and put in the date of sale, December 2nd, 2020. It says incorrect. I said, if these MFers went in and used November 30th of 2020, I got you, bitch. And I did, and it cracked the code. Baby, that's when everything started coming to light. Who the hell told you to give me a 91 term month? Right, baby, they took our insurance, they took our, but since it's an electric vehicle, they took out like the powertrain insurance. Baby, they had a whole laundry list of insurance on that damn car right there. So what I did was I said, since they already have like Spotify, other little stuff that, you can plug in, because now how they doing now with electric cars these days, you can get all types of subscriptions, right? You can get your internet music, you can get Spotify, you can get all this other activation for as anti-theft protection and stuff like that. Man, I went in and activated that damn thing, y'all. And it says a code has been sent to your radio. Put the code in, because it located where the car was. I said, oh, y'all raggedy bitches is sitting at the damn car lot, y'all. At the car lots.
And they are actively fighting her in court while she located at the car lot.
Exactly. And it ain't my car.
The thieves are actively fighting her in court, had the audacity to have the attorney to tell them that she owes the money on the fraudulent car times 2. And she found the car at that car lot. So
from their information, they thought you was slick, but baby, technology is a beast. I cut the car on y'all. That says, please read the code off the radio. I said, oh, whoever come in here, they know how to broke the damn code in this bitch, but I printed out everything. I went ahead and got everything that I could, off of that before it was shut down. But just to know that y'all, some of them, you know what I'm saying? This is what you do. This is concealment. Y'all doing that with the COVID when everybody was, sitting in the house. I should have set my ass down too, but I had to get me a car, right? Walked in with one car and shit, they gave me about 4 or 5 of them hoes. Wasn't nobody in there. I should have known something was up. I was like, oh, wow. This is so crazy, man. And the concealment, you're not going to find out like instantly because they concealed it. They failed to disclose what they're doing to you, right? So that's why it says give you 6 years, after you discover what had happened. That's why they said there's no statute of limitation on fraud. Because you got to discover. Once you discover, then your time starts then. Baby, I'm going to tell you, remember, these are model contracts. It starts with you pulling, once again, I'm going to stop calling them contracts, your agreement, which are trust agreements. Go pull them. All of them. Everything they gave you. Start reading them line by line. Me, how I articulate and clearly understand it, I write down contradictory words, right? And then I go right to their perspective because that's where they tell each other the truth. They put spells on each other right there, right? In order to fool the investor. So the investor can come and invest in their pool and then they say, hey, it's a risk. It's a risk. If you buy into these, remember, these notes are debt notes. You only use them to discharge or offset your taxes and stuff like that. Don't look to try to make it money off of it. Now remember, you buying a liability, but then they put spells on each other. And in those agreements, they will also say, hey, we gotta make sure that we follow the regulations for each state. We gotta make sure there's no court proceedings against us. These are their agreements that they have with each other. But guess what? You're a part of that trust and that holding trust because it wouldn't be no them if it wasn't for you. They claim join the 1098 form, say, hey, that's my partner right there. Well, show me some love then. You get what I'm saying? So that's a way of grabbing your agreements. Go and find their prospectus. Go and pull up their service agreements. Now, if it be with the dealership, go pull the dealership agreement. What type of dealership agreement you got? Now, sometimes you may even go down that rabbit hole for us going into the court records, like I had to go into Pacers to kind of solidify and bring that to a whole for us saying, hey, I found the dealer's agreement on the outside, but on the inside, where they are now saying, hey, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I had to go in the Pacer and I found a case where an employer was suing them and said, hey, you are BMW Bank of North America doing business as Momentum, Sonic Momentum, right? And then they were arguing that, but they had to put up their agreement, kind of find out. Y'all shaking hands. You straight up lied to the consumer in the retail installment saying, hey, we shall not be an agent for any purposes. But you are, Sway. The fuck you mean? You get what I'm saying? So now you start putting the puzzle together. You say, what about recording him in the Department of the Insurance Attorney General? Baby, look, let me tell you something. Long as it's in our state, in Texas, it says as long as one party knows it being recorded. And don't when you call it say, this is recorded for quality purposes and information. And say you couldn't. You feel me? And it is exclusively say they are and you can't. How about that?
Let me tell y'all
is everything.
Why Congress don't get into contracts, because there aren't any. Everything is a trust agreement, from the Constitution to the point of you walking outside.
That makes a lot of sense, Aisha. That's true.
Thinking that it's safe outside. You the one walked outside, so if you got shot, you can't call the state of Texas and say, hey, you owe me money because I got shot walking outside of your state. You trusted. It's an agreement. You made a trust agreement that it was good outside. That's why Congress don't interfere, because you're choosing to put yourself in a fraudulent contract that's not real. You're the only one in La La Land. You're the only one in Wonderland. So they don't want to go on Wonderland with us. That's why they don't interfere. There's no contracts. The contracts are the
trust agreement, right? And then they tell you that they don't impede on any agreements or any contracts.
The contracts are like an acid drop pill. You go down and read to start believing all that and want to arbitrate with that, then you're in Wonderland.
Correct.
But we're trying to get you guys to come.
It's not the spot to be, y'all.
We want y'all to come to reality. Reality is that there's a covenant between our Creator, and that covenant is based upon trust. Therefore, everything
is done in trust.
Everything is a trust contract. I want if y'all would stop saying contract. If you believe in the Bible,
well, the meeting of the minds of that, and they gave us a one-sided.
It's not even dealing with nobody else. It's a covenant with God.
Right.
It's a trust with God. And once you let other humans come into that contract, you're giving them power. Take it back and stand on truth and start finding the facts that come from the treasury. Once you go use the government entities and agencies and say, I need a FOIA, make sure you tell these companies, I need you to do the FOIA with the United States Treasury. That's where you're going to see where your credits came from. We're making it a bit too hard. Do that first. Get that information from the Treasury. Every agency is dealing with the Treasury. So if it's a credit card, it's going to be the agency of the Federal Trade Commission. If it's a house, it's HUD. It doesn't matter if it's an FHA or not. It's HUD. You're going to ask FT or Federal Trade Commission to give me a FOIA inclusive with United States Treasury.
I like to respond now. Tasha May. She said, I'm not liking it here. I need a new way because this can't be it. If you created and gave over your signature willingly unto a contract, how else you going to get remedy, ma'am? They're going to strong on you on the outside. They ain't going to even listen to you. They're going to ignore you. We're trying to bring it to a whole because it's a little bit more expensive information than just this. This is a way to tie it in. But, if it's not for you, then you can always swipe up. You can always swipe down. I mean, I'm just saying. It's for those who have an ear, let them hear.
She said she was talking to somebody in the comments.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying because, reading is... Okay. I was just trying, because what I'm reading and comprehending are two different things. Okay. So it says, who is the DOI investigating officials? Reviewing officials, the presiding officers, and the DOJ approving officers? That's a question. The investigating officials is the DOI, Inspector General. The reviewing official is the DOI solicitor, specifically the General Law Division. The presiding officers is the administrative law judge for the DOI, officer of a hearing and appeal. So if you already got a court proceeding and you filed this in your court, then now you are telling them to, hey, act on my behalf. And you have now been appointed to act as the trustee under the DOI official for this hearing. That's another reason why the judge said, hey, them claims are going to stay with BMW. Because now the whole hat switched, the whole role switched, all of it. That's why when I gave old dude a phone call earlier, I was telling you about Aisha. Why you picked up the phone insurance, man, on a Sunday? For BMW North America, infiltrating something you ain't, saying that you just stay advisor for insurance. Oh, yeah? What kind over there, bruh? Because if that be the case, you in the wrong place. They need to be with the OCCC. So you damn if you do and you damn if you don't. But guess what? Licenses are going to expire on the 20th. Let's we all keep an eye on that. He going to ask me, who are you? Are you the state? I said, no, I'm a client. And I was like, okay. So guess what? You going to learn today. I'm going to tie up my baby. I know what you're doing. You're money laundering, security fraud. You're bringing the laundered securities back to BMW Financial Services out of the debt cancellation agreement because you canceled the retail and brought alive a debt cancellation and amended it to the retail, which means it's gone bye-bye. And the active agreement is the debt cancellation. It got all the mixing in there, but it ain't got the prescription. 433.2, Title 16, any holder of the consumer contract. Hey, so that means you holding something you ain't supposed to be holding over there. Y'all see how I wrap that up in the bud? And now you can't wiggle out of it because you omitted it through documents and gave it to me and you sold it. And you're telling on yourself in the documents. So I help you tell on yourself in my motion. Yeah, they said it. That's why they are never submitted under the NISI prudence. That means bring forth that contract, boo. I don't want to hear no hearsay. I want to see that. Because now you're about to perjure yourself because I'm finna fuck you up. You get what I'm saying? Even with just that little bit right there, all we're saying is go after it. Pull your contract. Start screaming at the ones who are over it. These are bonded documents. That's why they have a number at the bottom of it, either on the left or on the right. Because this is chattel paper, right? And they are selling it. And by them selling it, in order for somebody else to become a holder of it, they got to what? Cancel it at the table. Breach of default. I can show you mine, y'all. Look, check this out. What they said. What they said. So y'all can clearly understand and have over understanding what they brought back to me, what they told me.
When she looking, y'all, I just want to remind you, FOIA request, do it now. Because the FOIA request that I'm waiting on, and a matter of fact, I'm just going to be very transparent. We were bringing you someone that we thought was going to be able to, and they probably can, basically track your securitization, your treasury credits and that nature. Just do what I'm saying. It's free. It's the same thing that person was doing. It's just going to cost you some time, a little bit of work, but you're going to have a plethora of knowledge. You got all that person, right? All that person was doing was getting the information from the U.S. Treasury. And we were like, how do you get a FOIA from the U.S. Treasury? I'm telling you, if you are trying to FOIA your credit card credits and securitizations, you're going to go to the FTC and do a FOIA request, and you're going to say you want a FOIA request from them, inclusive of any activity with the United States Treasury. Write it down. I'm going to make it a little bit more clear for y'all who are in Texas. I went to the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles. I told them to do a thorough investigation on the title and the registration. So I'm going to bring this to y'all. So how I got the information, how I know they counted at the table, right? Well, let me just say this real quick. Y'all get these likes up before I actually disclose this information to y'all because they gave me a huge fire. And so I'm just going to let you know, neither one of us at this moment I don't know what she do. I don't have anything back from the Treasury Department. I'm waiting. I got an email from last month saying that they're going to expedite it. I want you to know that if you're trying to say that there's a breach of contract at the table, you need the FOIA from the Treasury. We don't have that yet. That's something I'm trying to get you guys to start doing right now because I learned that at the end of my mission. But if I would have learned that at the beginning, which I really ain't tripping because I got the receipt from the DTCC.
Right.
So I have to pay for at the table. And then we can do this stuff also at the table. She's gonna show you the additional.
Right, and then that DTC is a lot. That too as well, the QSIP and all this other stuff. But right now we're walking you through claims. How I was able to get my information. Look, didn't it take a year? They just not gave me back this information. A whole year, y'all. But I didn't give up. I kept moving, kept asking questions, kept going to the regulators, kept saying, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. They ain't gonna lay down either because they they got a bunch of claims, understaffed, and they want to get rid of them as much as as quick as possible. But you got to stick out like a sore thumb. None of it's going to be easy, but once the information starts coming back, you're going to be so happy and mad at the same time because now we're helping you get remedy, right? And getting the funds put back where they properly belong, which is in your pocket, back to your family, back to your trust, however you want to implement that. So right here, he did the report, and this is the enforcement division of the DMV. He said on December 2nd, 2020, CP, that's what me, the complaining person, which is me, my name, purchased from Momentum BMW, and it gave the VIN number, and it gave the amount, and it says default and breach of agreement at the time of signing. Seller canceled contract during the signing the contract. Lapse in he put it all caps, y'all, like he's screaming it. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Now you can come back and properly assert yourself right here. Do y'all get what I'm saying? But you ain't got to stop there. You can go a little bit more further and go and do what Aisha is telling. Go hit them for your request. Go hit them. Hey, you got to make them put in work. You got to stay on top of it. Emails, calling. You got to stay on top of it.
And from this information, see how they take a year? That's when we have to say, okay, I might not have a year, so I'm going to initiate this now. But let's go and do all of these other things. Like a gentleman, I want to ask, but when we bring you up, you can tell us. Can you get, he was saying just go to foria.gov. I don't know why I didn't go that way. I remember there was a conversation that was being had on the app a while back, but it seemed as though people weren't getting what they were needing. So what my question is can we go to foria.gov and the United States Treasury will be able to get the information there regarding your house.
Right, and I think somebody was asking about student loan. It same applies. It says any corporation, any entity. It applies to every claim you got. Down to they put in the toilet the wrong way. Shit. Of course, they're going to play hardball, but one thing they ain't going to play hardball with is the mother who give them a license and can snatch it and stop all that money. A person who can start clink, locking some of them up. They ain't finna play them games with them because they sure didn't play with the OCC and they ain't playing with the DMV either. But they going to do it to you because they want to, they in it to win it. They going down. If y'all ever seen that collage where the bankers was going into hell with their money bag, what you think they gonna do to you?
And I also have an email address where we can ask for information from the DTCC. I just haven't did it because I have mine, but I probably need to update it. So basically, all these things that they're using to get our credits, I believe that we need to get information from those agencies. Therefore, you'll be able to prove that you haven't injured them because there's no debt liability. They already received money.
And who is the injured party? You got to prove the injured party, boo-boo.
Yeah.
How you got injured? You made $400 million. Huh? It's in your prospectus.
I mean, I see you guys saying about the UCC 103, but y'all under the impression that if you write that no more fraud happens to you? Is that what y'all think?
Because it's not. It's deeper than that.
Yeah, they're not going to stop doing the fraud.
It's just a claim. You still got to file a lien. UCC 3. And then, even then, you need to check to see if you got a lien on you, UCC 11. I mean, but you don't want to go down. Let that be your last choo-choo train. Right now, you want to touch, you want to smell, you want to look at the fraud. So you will have a full-blown inner and understanding of what happened, and now you know what moves you need to make.
And I want to also say something to y'all. There is a non-UCC. There's such thing called a non-UCC, and that applies to homes. A lot of people are under the impression that you're just going to do a UCC 1 and a UCC 3 and tie your house up in that. No. That doesn't work for houses. You have to use a UCC 1 and a non-UCC. Because remember, a UCC 3 is a financial statement.
Correct.
So I think a lot of people are hearing conversations and not reading. But thank God to, what's her name, Little Birdie? I forget the lady that she don't ever go live, but she do a lot of studying. I think her name is Little Birdie. She sent me that.
Yes, she do. Yes, she go live every now and then.
Okay. She sent me that, and I started reading it, and there was another young lady that went live that was also saying this. I'm like, this is not working for the house. So it's really going to be empowering when we start doing these teams and groups and start coming together and kind of dissolving the misinformation. That's what we want to do. We want to dissolve it by actually performing these things. We have been performing these things that's been talked about on the app. We just don't come on the app and say,
they'll still try to penetrate that guy. If you got to tie up first. You got to restrain them. You got to get a review. In addition to that, you go see. Always check on your court documents because that's where they went and reported a lot of fraud and stuff and clouded the title, clouded the deed. That's why we say they split the note from the equity, and both equity and the note is going to go separate places, and they're going to copy them. These are blank endorsements, and they're going to pay it to the order of them or to the order of whoever they sell it to. And they're going to keep making money off because they trust that way. That's why they leave the rewards open.
I say it's totally fine. Do what you want to do. Just make for sure you're not trying to take from me and mine. Because once you're trying to take from me, I'm going right to the places that gave to you and prove that you are fraud.
Right.
I was going to go tell, but I see how long it takes when I tell. You know, we started off talking about we're going to be a professional telltale. Yeah, I've done that. I've told to the Security Exchange Commission. Now, I'm not saying that nothing happened from that because the entity that I told on regarding that, they are the number one defendant in my case. And they have not hired an attorney to defend themselves. They are not talking to me. They're not bothering.
They quiet. You can hear Aunt P on kite.
So it could have worked, but at the same point, the people that they saw my information to is fighting back, and it pisses me off. They're not trying to take nothing, but they fight back. I don't want to talk with y'all. You're a criminal. That's how I feel. So what do I need to do so that you know who you are and know who I am? And I think the only way to kind of do that is to show them that we are aware that they got paid at the table.
Correct. Baby, if I tell you they run it every way, which way but loose in my case, and they defaulted several times in Aisha case, we on a scheduled order. So, hey, when it's time to bust them in the head with it, they're going to get the business. They're going to get that default. But in the meantime, they still under investigation and things of that nature. That's why some of these proceedings are going to drag about a year, 6 months, year 2. You know, get yourself properly set up. You know, when you starting at the starting line, you're going to get to the finish line because whatever you put your energy into, God is going to bless it. And you're going to get your just dessert. You're gonna eat the fruit of your labor, period. Do nothing, got no rights. Rights unexpressed, you have none. You stand on that Constitution, the Bill of Rights. which is a part of the Bible. That's how they get all these rules, codes, and statutes from. Because you are the law. The only way they're going to do business with you is by making up rules, codes, and statutes and amendments and things of that nature. Because the more you know, they're going to move the goalposts. And they do it through amendments. But you still got the word. You still are a child of the Most High. The Father put you here and gave you an order. You are ordained to do something greater than yourself. Because as you save yourself, you save others. It's about getting the information out there. That's why we say share the live, light the live. It's everybody needs to start drinking from this water of knowledge. As we are waking up, people want directions. This is for education, entertainment purposes only. Go do your research. Come back together. We here at this table. That's why we round table. That's why we come together as a family. Like I said earlier, 2 heads is better than 1. 3 heads is better than 2, and so forth. So aforementioned. I love using that word now since AI gave it to me. And yes, AI is a big part of helping us out for clarity about the spill and getting the spill off of us in these court proceedings. So yes, you're going to do a little, not only research, you're going to do some investments in small tools that you're going to need to bring your claim as a whole. Even though I have more than enough to bury their asses with, I want to put all the nails in that coffin. How about that? Is something old. Go say it, Cletus. You know you already perjuring yourself. That he ain't saying that. I said you cannot represent fraud in the courts, and yes, I did say it. And he looked like a licked on lollipop with hair. I love me some ChatGPT. It's just how you program what you have. You know what I'm saying? The AI we use is Gemini, and Gemini, it's a paid subscription, but it researched over 1 million records. It can draft you anything. But like I say, also going through the court records, find something that's similar to you and implement yourself in that. And what I learned is that the judge don't like no long, drawn-out story. She wants 25 or less pages. I was in there beating them up 100 pages, 80-something pages. He told me, I can't digest this. It's 81 pages. Boy, that was something else. Gemini, $20, but you get a month free trial. But, go there and sign up, y'all. You need everything at your disposal because that's knowledge as it's increasing. You got to reprogram yourself. And it's going to start with a quiet place. You got to not have no distraction. You're going to have to read to enter and understand your contract. That means you may have to read it 5 or 6 times. Write down some imperative things in there. Go research that word, how they put it in there. You know how they switch up and say, you and your mean us, and I and we can mean, you get what I'm saying? These are spell words. This is how they change and switch gears on you so quick. It's confusion, so it's not clear language. It's deceptive language. And they never told you, at least BMW do tell you on the application, these are trusts, this is a trust. I can show that to y'all later on. I blew it up way down small writing and say you were opening up a trust account with. I said, ain't that some shit? But they tell you that on the application.
They have been sued for that. That's why they had to disclose it.
But it's so tiny, baby. You need a magnifying glass to blow that thing up. I mean, it's on the application.
They know that everybody else gonna be screaming contract. So they will never get in trouble again for a trust agreement because 98% of y'all gonna come there saying contract.
Right, and that's why they say that they cannot have any court proceedings against them dealing with that trust. But when you walk your ass up in here and you say ding dong, we in this court, oh baby, we married. You ain't going nowhere. I'm one of them crazy ones.
I do want to take time out to say how proud I am seeing so many people posting about consumer rights and their constitutional rights. I am proud because it was a time that everybody was doing dance videos on TikTok.
Right.
I do want to say I'm proud of the new wave and how we are now concerned about what's happening to us and not just dancing and looking at joke videos. So
yeah, because when the dance and the song is over, you're going to be pulling that chain gang. And I don't want it to be me, baby. I'm going to be way up in the mountains somewhere or something. Oh, you ain't finna break in my high. Y'all better learn today.
Yeah, so y'all be encouraged. We are all on the right path. We got to figure out how to shorten the distance of the path. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to shorten the distance and get relief without having to take our socials back out there and give it to them to work for whatever, you know. If you give out your social, you should know what you're signing up to do and how to actually be the negotiator of whatever's happening. That's the credit card.
Let me tell you when to file that 1099-B. Once you get back information like what I just showed you, where they said that let's see what they said. Where they said when they told on themselves default breach of agreement at the time of signing. That's already from the enforcement division, right? So if they said it, they're going to stand 10 toes down on it, right? Now, with information like that, I need a full-blown audit and the taxation go with it. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Or when you do a FOIA on the DTC, United States Treasury, that's when you do it. All them credits on people talking about they getting $5 million. That's where you can see those type of credits come back from doing a 1099-B because you have actual information that shows that there's $5 million in promissory credits created.
And that's going to be your perspective, depending on the class they put you in. And that class is going to be your CUSIP. So that class...
I'm telling them, don't do it until you get that information from millions. Right. Make sure you have something from the Treasury, a government entity that's saying, yeah, this actually happened. And if y'all want to do it your way, do it your way. I don't care. But I'm just saying if you're trying to do something of that substantial credit amount, then you really need to have a government entity to show you what has happened. And then you take that document and attach it to the 1099-B after going to make an appointment with the Internal Revenue Service.
Right. And Dante asked, why do a FOIA with the DTC? She just told you they're going to come back and tell you it's been paid, baby. That's why.
Yeah, the DTC is the receipt of payments.
Right. That's the Treasury. That's the Treasury. They go and
that's how they convert.
Yeah, that's how they do a conversion. They have to have it turned in at the end of the day, right? Which is your security. So they got to convert them to cash them to turn them into cash.
They take the claims and then they actually submit a claim to an agency, the paper claim, and then they use the DTC to extend the credits into their account.
Correct.
So that's the actual receipt. The DTCC is the receipt. Depository Trust Clearinghouse is clearing.
Correct. That's why it's called clearinghouse. They got to clear it through there at the end of the day on every transaction.
So it clears the claims that was sent to the governmental agency. The governmental agency uses them. After the governmental agency tells the U.S. Treasury, hey, give us this, go ahead and do this, I got this claim. The United States Treasury works with the DTC, and the DTC sends the credits. That's why I have a DTCC receipt showing my house was paid off 5 days after I closed. Because that transaction happened exactly that way. And I'm not talking based upon hearing this conversation on the app. I'm talking from me having it in my hand. I have this in my hand. So the reason I'm telling you to do this first, the United States Treasury and the DTC, because now you don't have to wait for all the other entities to go and investigate the fraud. You can say, hey, this is fraud. You got to go investigate it. They probably still don't want to do it. but you're telling them I have proof that all of this is fraud. This is paid for the day I sat down. If you have those two documents first. And they only take 45 days to get. So that's why I keep saying it. Because, yes, we can go do the other stuff that me and Mad did, but yeah, we waited a while. We waited a while. So do all of them is what I'm basically saying. But most importantly, you need to see, everybody's talking about the for that. Why is it just a conversation? Why are we soap opera in our lives? Why aren't we making our lives factual? When we talk about, we should talk from facts. Go get the FOIAs from the TCC and from the Treasury. What's up, Applied?